All right. Hello, guys. My name is Arvin. I am the Chief Delivery Officer here in Seller Candy. And today I am with Bismay. He is my colleague, and he has a lot of questions about Amazon catalog. And that will be the focus of our topic today. So, Bismay, how are you today?
Oh, good, Arvin. How have you been? And I'm just super curious. So I'm going to jump in and ask, what's Amazon catalog management?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, my week has been really, really good so far. So today I am so excited to just share everything that I know about catalog management. So catalog management or Amazon catalog is more on talking about organizing, maintaining, and looking after all of your Amazon listings. Maybe from the product detail page on the back end and maybe even using flat files. So this is how you're optimizing your listings, how you're organizing everything to make sure that your listing is up to the standard of Amazon catalog. And since you said that you're curious about Amazon catalog, is there anything in specific that you want to know about Amazon catalog?
Well, you just mentioned like four things. So let's start with the easiest that I feel in my head, the product detail page.
Yeah.
When I create that or when someone else is creating it, what are the things that I need to make sure are on it?
So it depends on what phase you are in. Whenever you're just trying to start launching a new product or you are already optimizing a product.
I think, well, there's a lot of details on what new sellers need to do. Why don't we talk about what if I'm doing it for 1 year or two?
So yeah, maybe we can start with the vital information that you should make sure whenever you're creating a new listing. So let's talk about having a product title, the bullet points, an image of your product on a white background, product description, search terms back and keywords. Those are some of the attributes that it is really necessary. Of course, pricing and your brand name. So whenever you are creating a new listing, for some categories, these are the information that Amazon is usually looking for, and they will not allow you to proceed if you are missing any of it. Like, for example, you don't have the brand name, or maybe you don't have the title that is, or you can just always make up a title for sure. But if you don't have a real world image, for example, you may be able to create a listing, but Amazon will then, in the next hour or so, or maybe within the next 24 hours, Amazon will suppress your listings.
Yeah, makes sense. So I know that newbie sellers make a lot of mistakes with their listing, and there's a lot of solution out there. What is something that you see when you're going through calls with Seller Candy that you see that experienced or more advanced seller? What type of mistakes do they make in their product listing page, product detail page?
Yeah, obviously there's a lot. I am talking to almost all of our sellers that we manage here in Seller Candy. I'm talking to some agencies as well. The most common issue that I experience when it comes to catalog is about the suppressed listing. So it is either missing a product description, or sometimes Amazon is not allowing them to update the listing, even though they are the brand owner, they have the brand registry. Amazon is always just telling them that you are not winning the contribution rights to perform any update on specific listing. There are some sellers that in the past they have incorrectly created their listing under an incorrect brand name, and now they updated their manufacturer website, they updated everything, but then Amazon is still not allowing them to change the brand name of the product that they are selling. Because obviously, when you're a seller, you have to make sure, especially right now that Amazon is becoming stricter and stricter when it comes to selling on Amazon, you have to show ownership. You have to take control of your listing. And if it is listed under an incorrect branding or not even connected to the brand registry, then you will be in trouble because anyone can hijack your listing. So there's a lot more to consider for sure. But yes, some sellers, they have this issue about they are using a lot of keywords or terms that is not even allowed. So Amazon is suspending their listing for not meeting the standard of Amazon. Like, for example, they are using a lot of private health claims, or maybe they have added somebody else's brand onto their listing. So they are experiencing this potential IP violation. or even as I said earlier about the health claims, the restricted product policy violation. And there's a lot more. I can go on, but for sure, those
Yeah,
are just the things that I can
we will
share
be
with
just
you.
doing this the whole day. It feels like with the with the minute. So my question there is like I heard you mention brand registry and brand ownership a lot. Can you dive in a bit deeper on how someone can solve that?
Well, yeah, for sure. Thanks for that question. Actually, this kind of requests or issue, we receive this a lot from our clients, especially brand owners or some agency that we manage, the sellers that they are managing are having these issues. And for this kind of issue to resolve, it's not just something that within the next 24 hours it will be resolved. No, because Amazon will not allow you to actually change a brand name as long as you have legitimate claim and you can show Amazon that you are owning this product or you're not just randomly changing it, we can obviously help and support the sellers. So for this to work, we have to perform a lot of troubleshooting processes. We are not reaching out directly to seller support because we know that if, let's say, we reach out to them unprepared, we will just get another canned response. And that we don't want to happen because it's just really a waste of time. What we will do on our side here in Seller Candy, we'll troubleshoot the listing first. We'll try to perform first is plot file partial update using the correct brand name. Second is if the partial update will not work, we'll try to do a full update using a plot file as well. And if that will not work, what we will do is actually we'll get approval first from the seller, especially if the listing is active and they just want to really update it because one of the troubleshooting processes is actually to delete the listing for 24 hours. So we'll get the approval first, especially again if the listing is active because there's an option on the 24-hour sale that the seller will lose if we will just delete them without approval. So if we got the approval, we will delete the listing via flat file. At least we generated a batch ID because we will need that as a reference or as a supporting reference whenever we raise a case to Amazon. So after 24 hours, we will release it again. Sometimes it may take 48 to 72 hours, depends on the severity of the issue, but we're always just doing it for the next 24 hours. So we will re-upload the listing using a full update. So we now have two batch IDs. The first one is the batch ID for creating the listing using the flat file. The second is uploading the listing using the flat file. And this is now the perfect timing to call seller support. But don't get too excited because you will need more information. So it's better to actually ask the seller if they can provide you a copy of real world images of the product showing the packaging
So
with the
yes, sorry to stop you there. So before calling Seller Central, I will delete the listing. And you told me that I don't have permission to edit the listing, but I have permission to delete it. Is that right?
Now, you will have obviously permission to edit. It's just that it is not reflecting on the detail page or
Okay.
Amazon CAD system is not accepting it. So the other way of troubleshooting it is to delete the listing for 24 hours.
Okay, makes sense.
Got
So
it?
if I delete the listing, it will go away and that reflects, but Amazon doesn't allow me to edit it. Yeah.
Yeah, because the delete and release process is not even a guarantee that what you're trying to publish will work. That's why you are compiling the information because if let's say after 24 hours of deleting and releasing it and then the update, the brand name is still not reflecting on the detail page, then that's the time that you will raise a case to seller support. So again, then don't get too excited because we will be asking for more information from the seller or from the brand owner so that we'll prevent all of this back and forth communication with seller support. So what we will ask them is to provide us the copy of the real world images of the product showing the front packaging and the back packaging showing the correct brand name and even the barcode of the product because we will need to send that to Amazon. It could be something that they can take using their mobile phone, they are holding it with their hands. It's just that it has to be real world. It should not be rendered. The second thing that we will ask seller is the updated manufacturer website because we need to redirect the seller support to the manufacturer website where they can see the correct product, the correct brand name, and all of that information. Third if possible, is to the copy of the GS1 certificate, because we need to tell Amazon that, yeah, as a seller, I'm actually owning this product. I have even registered my UPC code to GS1 database, and you can check it with the certificate that I have in here. And then there will be instances that we will also be asking seller if they can provide us the copy of their trademark. So those are just some of the documents that we are always asking the seller to provide to us, because we need to send it to seller support aside from the batch IDs for deleting and then relisting the product. Is what you will try to do is, if you can skip the first level of support or the customer service of Amazon, and try to reach out to their leadership team, because they are the only one who has access to the tools to try to modify the listing. But in order for them to edit, you have to provide all of this information or these documents to them. Did that make sense?
Yeah, that's a lot of information for me to process. But yeah, that makes sense because you clearly explained it like beginner friendly. As you mentioned that it might take 48 to 72 hours. Do they always reply, or do we need to still keep on following up with them?
Well, actually, so when you reach out to Amazon, you'll not do it via email. You can also do it via email. It's just much faster to do it via phone. Then again, you can only speak to the first level of support. They can also transfer you to the leadership team, the catalog captive team, but it's not that instantly you will receive a resolution to the case. So if the case, or if the seller support mentioned that now the listing is transferred, or the ticket rather has been transferred to the leadership team and they are reviewing it, sometimes it takes days to actually complete the review. One thing that our team is not doing, unless it is really urgent, is actually to try to follow up on the case. Because if you will follow up in the case, remember, the case has been transferred to the leadership team, and meaning that it is already in their queue. So it keeps on moving until they complete all of the first requests that they receive. If you follow up on the case that you created, it is just really my hypothesis. What's happening is that it is moving to the back of the queue. So it get answered later. And then there's also instances that if you will, let's say, create a new case just to follow up on the original case that you created, they will just merge these two cases. And then again, the request to actually transfer the case to the leadership might be forfeited. So unless it is really urgent, we're trying not to follow up within the next 24 hours. We will wait until the next 48 hours. But if they will close the ticket within the 24 hours, it means that it is not transferred to the leadership team, because you have to remember that all of this seller support, they have SLAs, they have KPIs. And so if it is not transferred to the leadership team within the next 24 hours, there's the possibility that it is just sitting on the agent level. I noticed it personally that if it is transferred to the leadership team, the case is kept as open, and I will receive a consistent email from the seller support that this ticket is still being reviewed by the leadership team. So
That
those
makes
are
sense.
just my personal experience.
So yeah, it seems like a lot of, well, not just beginners, but even experienced sellers make the mistake of keep on following up till you get a
Mm.
reply, because that's the advice you get everywhere online. So
Yeah, but
maybe this
you
is
have to follow
something,
up too if it is something really urgent, you know.
yeah, if it's something that you can be patient on, be patient. Or if it's urgent, then yeah, you can start following up. But you need to find the balance. Is that right?
Yeah, you have to find the balance, and then just again trust the process.
Yeah.
And if let's say you're not really getting the resolution, the seller support or the leadership team for some reason that get back to you and say that they cannot do the edit, you still have to continue reopening as long as you believe that you have the right to actually perform the edit and Amazon is incorrect about it. And there will be other ways to try to escalate the issue, because that thing that I told you is just the troubleshooting process that we are following here. But you can also, our team is also doing it, to send an email to Jeff at Amazon.com. It's another way of escalating the issue. If just to try to get the issue resolved. There's a lot more ways. It's always just thinking outside of the box. That's how the team is working with seller support.
Yeah, maybe yeah, we can tell people to try this way, and if that doesn't work, we will come back with a part 2 of this video.
Yeah, and there will be more issues to tackle.
Yes, sir. All right, Aaron, it was nice chatting. Bye.
Thanks, Usmay. Bye.